Dave Ulloa here with World Ventures. Today's training is our Fast Start training. Like I said, my name is Dave Ulloa. I've been with World Ventures for 8.5 years. I was a founding member of the company as well as a PAC team member, international trainer, international marketing director, and founder of our team 7th Power. So if you're watching this training, congratulations. Welcome to World Ventures. And today is a training that we do after every travel party, after every live event. We give people direction on what the next steps are. So congratulations and welcome to World Ventures. And the first thing you want to start off with is knowing why you're doing World Ventures. You know, there are so many people that go through life reacting to what life is giving them. And the number one reason why is because they don't have a target. You know, I used to be a former police officer. And if I don't have a target on what I'm shooting at, what am I likely to hit? I'm likely to hit anything. I could hit, who knows? I could hit nothing. And so most people don't get what they want out of life because they don't know what they want. So if you want to have success with World Ventures, it's got to start with your why. Start off with 3 goals that you want to achieve with World Ventures. What's most important to you? Do you want to have more freedom? Do you want to have more fun? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to help more people? Whatever is most important to you, the more specific you are in writing down these 3 goals and sharing them with the person that got you started and sharing them so we know what it is that you want to get out of World Ventures, because then the next step is to set up the map, the massive action plan on what you need to do in order to achieve those goals. So that's the first starting point. I encourage you to write down 3 goals that you want to achieve with World Ventures. Then the next step is to develop your list of names. See, with World Ventures, your inventory are your contacts, are the people that you know, the people that you've come across, the people that you've met in your life. And you want to start off with writing down your list of names. And this is not having them in your cell phone. Our personal experience is to create a system. What you want to do is get yourself a World Ventures notebook that's dedicated to your business in World Ventures. See, if you treat this like a business, you're going to get paid like a business. But if you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby. And so get yourself a system and do a phone dump. Take the names out of your cell phone and put them into your system, into your notebook for World Ventures. And you want to start off with the top 20 people that you know. Who are the 20 people that you know the best and trust you the most? And you want to divide those 20 people into 2 categories. The first category are who are the most successful people that you know. The 10 most successful people that you know, write those names down. Successful people tend to be more open-minded. Successful people tend to be more entrepreneurial, and they're looking for residual income, freedom. So write those names down. And then the other 10 are the people that you know the best and trust you the most. And those are the people that if you have a flat tire at 2 in the morning, you can call them up and they will come and help you out. Who are those 10 people? And write those names down tonight. Write them down right now. Those 20 names. It's something that's easy to do, but guess what else? It's also easy not to do. So when would be a good time? When would now be a good time to take action and start going after your dreams? And write those 20 names down today. Now the next step is, once you write those 20 names down, is to go and write and develop that list of names to 150 names. 150 names of people that you know. Well, you say, Dave, I don't know 150 people. Well, in life we either have excuses or results, but you can't have both, and that's an excuse. Everybody that knows at least 250 people by first name by the time they hit the age of 25. What you want to do is you want to develop that list and get yourself a memory jogger. You can go to our team website, 7thpower.biz. That's the number 7, THPOWER.biz, and get a memory jogger so you can think about all the people who are in your life. All the people, your friends, your family, your gardener, your dentist, your lawyer, everybody that you've done business with, people that you went to high school with, people that are on your Facebook, take them off your Facebook. If they know your name, put them into your list and develop that list of 150 names. And that's the starting point. Once you got the starting point of your list, then you go to the next step. And the next step is the most important skill that you're going to develop at the beginning of your business with World Ventures, and this is the skill of inviting. So write that down. Become a master inviter. If you become a master inviter, you will get people to see what it is that we're doing. Whether you invite them to a video, you invite them to a presentation, a travel party, a one-on-one, a two-on-one, or a live event, or vacationsooner.com. If you can get and do that enough times by mastering that skill of inviting, notice I didn't say selling, notice I didn't say explaining, notice I didn't say presenting, If you can do that over and over and over again, you will have success with World Ventures. So master the skill of inviting. And the number one thing you want to do is avoid the biggest mistake that most people make when they start, and that's fire hosing your friends and your family. I made that same mistake. I got excited, and I used to be a former police officer, so they told me to invite, don't present, invite, don't explain. And in my mind, I thought, I have a reputable type of position as a police officer, especially with my family. I can just tell it to them, and they're going to love what we're doing. And so I went home, and the first victim that I saw, the first person that I saw was my father. And I went to him, and the conversation went something like this. Dad, I just got started in this great company. It's called World Ventures. They got this Dream Trips program, and we're going to go to Ecuador for like 20 bucks. We're going to be able to travel the world. And then they got this great business opportunity. It's a 2-team system, 3 left, 3 right. We're going to cycle, and then there's residual income, car, home bonuses. We're going to get rich. And my dad looked at me and said, son, who stole your baton and hit you over the head with it? I don't know what it is that you're doing, but it sounds illegal to me. And so that was my first rejection. And for most people, they'll make the same mistakes, and they'll get rejected 2 to 3 times by their friends and their family. Then they'll go home, take a nap, and then they'll quit. And they'll say it didn't work for me. But what's the truth? The truth is they did not learn how to work it. This is not about explaining, not about presenting, not about selling. This is about sharing. So you master the skill of inviting. And we like to teach the 3-step invite. It's a simple way where you can either phone somebody or actually text them, the simple way of inviting. And so the 3 steps to the invitation are this. Step number 1 is to clear the date and the time. The most important step in the invitation is to clear the date and the time. If you don't clear the date and the time and you go to step number 2 first, then you're going to get a lot of people backtracking and telling you they're not available and they won't show up, and you're not going to clear the date. So you've got to clear the date. Clearing the date and the time is so simple as, hey Joe, what are you doing Tuesday at 7 o'clock? Okay, step by step. Hey Joe, what are you doing Tuesday at 7 o'clock? That's how I clear a specific date and a specific time. Hey Joe, what are you doing Tuesday at 7 o'clock? If I have a travel party going on at 7 o'clock, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear the date and the time. See, the other way to also clear the date and the time is to keep it open-ended. If I call my friend Joe and say, hey Joe, when can you and I get together in the next 2 days for about 30 minutes or so? Now I let Joe clear the date and the time and tell me some days and times that we can coordinate so I can meet with him. So those are the 2 ways to clear the date and the time. Let's say you schedule a travel party and it's on Tuesday at 7 o'clock and you go to step number 1. Joe, what are you doing Tuesday at 7 o'clock? That's step number 1. And Joe says he's not available. If Joe is not available, there's no reason to go to step number 2. You end the conversation because you can't win. There's no chance of winning, so you end the conversation and you go and make your next phone call and you call Joe back 2 to 3 days later. What if Joe says, well, Dave, listen, I'm not available, but why? What's up? Here's what the amateur does. The amateur actually says, well, I actually started in this new travel company. It's called World Ventures. It's got dream trips. I thought you'd be great. You'd love it. You love to travel. You love to make money. And now all of a sudden you start selling and they're not even available, and they're literally going to just put their hands up and says, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound fun to me. I'm not even going to take a look. So if they're not available, then what you want to do is you want to end the conversation. Hey, listen, Joe, no worries. I'm pretty busy too. I'll call you another time. Okay? End the conversation. If he asks you, well, why? What's up? Same thing. Listen, I'm pretty busy too. I'll catch you when you are available. Okay, and the conversation, now you just pique their curiosity. See, the invitation is about 2 things. Number 1, it's about creating curiosity. Number 2, it is about creating excitement, and you do that with your enthusiasm and in your voice. These invitation calls should take no longer than 30 seconds. No longer than 30 seconds. So here's some words to stay away from. And the reason you want to stay away from these words is because when people hear these words, they immediately put up resistance and they want to give you all kinds of objections as to why they're not going to show up. For example, if you say the word business, if you say the word opportunity, if you say the word travel. Now, travel, people may be open to it, but a lot of times people may say, what is this, a timeshare? I can't afford to travel right now, but maybe they would have fell in love with the idea of making money, but because of what you said, they didn't show up. But what if you say, listen, I want to invite you to a business opportunity? In their mind, they're going to think, what is this, Amway? Get out of here with that soap and hope stuff. It doesn't work. So you want to say the least as possible. Here's the philosophy in the invitation. Don't tell them anything until you could show them everything. Don't tell them anything until you could show them everything. Stay away from words like network marketing, presentation, and meeting. Nobody wants to sit in a meeting. Nobody wants to sit in a presentation. And what we do with our event, because we make it fun as travel, we have events. That's what we host. So stay away from those words. And here are some words that you want to use. So step number 2 is to set the invitation with some excitement and enthusiasm in your voice. And here's how you can set it. So step number 1, clear the date, clear the time. Step number 2, here's what you can say. Once the date and time is cleared, you can say, hey, listen, there's something you have to see. Or you can say, there's a project that I'm working on that I want to run by you. Okay? Or you can say, there's an idea that you absolutely have to see. There's a concept that I'd love to run by you. I'm hosting a VIP event. Or you can say, I'm having a grand opening reception at my house. Those are the things that are most effective during step number 2 to set the invitation. So something you got to see, project, idea, concept, VIP event, or having a grand opening reception. Those are the best strategies to invite somebody to come take a look at what it is that you're doing. Now, if they ask you, why? What is it? Okay, this is where a lot of people start to spill the beans and start to say way too much. When somebody asks you, what is it? Here are the 3 responses that you could say. First time they ask you, what is it? You say, that's exactly why I'm inviting you. Okay? Then you refer to step number 3. And step number 3 is to confirm the date and the time and the location. Okay, that's step number 3, to confirm the date, the time, and the location. And so as soon as I ask you what it is, that's exactly why I'm inviting you. I'll see you at Tuesday at 7 o'clock. If they ask you again, well, tell me a little bit about what it is, then your next response is, you know, it's 90% visual. I couldn't explain it over the phone. By the 3rd time they ask you, come on, tell me a little bit about what it is, you say, listen, it's me. Do you trust me? Do I have enough credibility with you to come get an hour of your time? I'll see you Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I'll text you the address. Okay? So there's 3 steps just to recap. Step number 1, clear the date and the time. Step number 2 is to set the invitation. And step number 3 is to confirm the date, the time, and the location. That's a great way. Give you the language. You can either text that, best to call it, just because a lot of people are used to, it's more effective when you call them, but you can also text the same language as well. So that is the invitation. Once you get the invitation, now you get the exposure. They show up to the travel party. They show up to a one-on-one. They see the information. That's what creates an exposure. With an exposure, you are now making money with World Ventures. Exposures is what makes money for us. And so once you get the exposure, at the end of that exposure, you ask, are you ready to get started? And they're going to give you one of 2 answers. They're going to say yes, or they're going to say no. No matter what they say, you do not need to get attached to the outcome. Because once you create an exposure, you're going to have a ratio. For me, my ratio in the beginning was 1 out of 12. I showed 12 people to get 1 to say yes, and I knew the ratio had just begun. So you might be better. You might be a little bit, but whatever it is, know that every time you show it to somebody, that's how we make money with World Ventures. And as soon, here's the second hardest part for this business for people, is that at the end, there might be some people that tell you no. There might be some people that are not ready to get started. They might have objections, time, money, whatever it is. Once that happens, you have to remember this rule that has saved me a lot of headache is called the SW rule. The SW rule stands for some will, some won't, so what, next, somewhere, 6 will. The SW rule, avoiding the second biggest pitfall, is the rejection rocket. When I understood the SW rule, that some will, some are going to get started, they're going to see it like me. Some won't. Some might be closed-minded. Some might not have the resources. Some might not be prepared for what World Ventures has to offer. So what? It doesn't matter. Next, somewhere, 6 will. And if you can just understand that SW rule, you will have long-term success with World Ventures. Now, for the next steps, I would recommend is now that you got started with World Ventures, go get your Easy 2. Get your Easy 2 exposures and get at least 1 exposure in the next 24 hours. Can you do that? Can you call somebody? Can you text somebody and get this information in front of them in the next 24 hours? See, what most people do is they try to figure out what it is. I want to figure out my website. I want to get all the details. The ones that make money with World Ventures and build a network go right into the marketing part of it and getting people to see this information. If you want to move fast, That's what you want to do. Build that muscle. Get with your team leader. Just go and call, text, and show somebody this information. The next exposure in 24 hours. I challenge you to do that. Just one exposure in the next 24 hours is going to get the ball rolling for you. The next step is also to schedule your first travel party. Your first travel party is one of the greatest ways to build this business. Is you set a date and you call your contacts, you invite them over, you pop in the DVD and share the presentation, and then get the person that sponsored you, your team leader, on the phone, on speakerphone. If they don't live in your area, get them on speakerphone so they can share their information and also help share their story and answer any questions that people have and go through the enrolling questions for you. So if the team leader is there, have them come over. They'll help out with the travel party. Make sure you have some fun. Share the video, share the presentation, and now you've exposed some people. So I encourage you to schedule a travel party, and from that travel party, your goal should be to schedule more travel parties, and then you start with the travel party spiral. So those are the next steps that I encourage you guys. The last piece to the training is for those of you that want to have long-term success and make a six-figure income. Make this a career for yourself. You have to commit to your training. You have to commit to the system and plug into World Ventures training system. You know, so many people want to become financially free, but they don't want to invest the time, the money, or the resources to learn how to become financially free. Your income follows your personal growth. Your income follows your personal growth. So if you want to have more in your life, then you need to start becoming more, learning some new skills. Don't wish life were easier, wish you were better. And when you plug into the training system that World Ventures has, from the online training, World Ventures has a lot of online free training available to you. I encourage you to look into the Advantage program and upgrade to that. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of the best training that you have access to if you have the Advantage program. We also have live trainings like Super Saturdays. We have regional training events where the company for 8 hours flies in one of the top income earners. Find out where those trainings are in your local area. You can find that out in your back office or through your team leader and plug into the training system. We also have 4 major events that World Ventures does where literally we have thousands of people from around the world that come to the trainings. And these trainings are designed for 2 things. Number 1, to build you. 80% of your success is going to be based on your personal development, and only 20% on the skills and strategies that you need to know, what to say, what to do in order to build a business. So 80% is based on you. The number 1 investment you could ever make is to invest in yourself. So plug into our system, plug into our training system. People that go to the trainings earn 6 times more money than the people that don't. Also, you want to plug into the events that are going on. If there's no events in your area, then you create the event. If there is an event in your area that's going on, whether it be a travel party or a live event, understand that when you go to the event and you have a guest, the meeting needs you. If you don't have a guest, then you need the meeting. Because maybe you need to hear something new. Maybe you need to get better at inviting or invite more people, build a confidence, hear somebody's story. That is the most important part, is to be around the energy and stay plugged in. So commit to the training. We encourage you to find out when the next training is in your area so that you register for it right online. You can go to wveventreg.com to register for the training, and that, my friends, is going to get you to the next level with World Ventures. So I want to thank you guys. Today's Fast Start training, share it with your team. We look forward to seeing you on a dream trip and at the trainings. Dave Ulloa signing off. Look forward to seeing you guys on the beaches of the world.